Hello everyone, and welcome to my new and improved Twitch, I guess, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna test something real quick. Alright, it works. So I'm gonna move that here, and what I'm gonna do is, alright, there we go. So what I'm gonna be doing is City Guesser. I was already gonna do that before, but things. I'm actually using a DPI cable, crazy enough. Okay, so it works. Hopefully. Doesn't? Because I know the audio is being picked up. Let me hop onto my stream and see. Because I know the audio is being picked up. Okay, we're good. Let me hop onto my stream and see. It is being picked up, so that's good. Okay, so I was trying to do this earlier, but it ended up being really shitty because, I don't have much experience with streaming with two monitors because I used to have my laptop right next to me, but now that I have an actual proper dual monitor setup, it's kind of weird for me, but I think I got it down. This screen right here, the one that I'm moving my cursor around on, is my main monitor. The monitor to my left, where my cursor just went, that is where my settings and stuff are and all that. Okay. Okay. There we go. So, yeah. City Guesser is interesting. It's not quite the same as, say, GeoGuessr, which is a game that I first started doing stuff on. It is instead just, yeah. Okay. But anyway, without further ado, go. So, let me do something real quick. First, I should probably pay attention to this. Okay, so there's someone watching, I guess. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. Who else is watching? Okay, so there is someone watching. But it's not me, because I went onto my phone to watch the stream for a second to see if the audio was good, because the thing about why I said the audio was shitty is because of the fact that I had way too many audio recording things, or whatever they were, up, so it kept echoing over and over and over. So that's why the first streamer earlier was just bleh. But this should be good. Now if you guys want to hear the story about how I actually got that DVI, guess who's got an Amazon account? Guess who decided to buy the damn thing? And the good thing is I still have plenty of money to buy a PS5 whenever pre-orders go back up for it. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to be doing the digital edition, which is nice. But from now on I'll be using Streamlabs and OBS, because actually Streamlabs is way more robust in what you can do with it. Partially because I literally had to use my I got to log in using my Twitch account. Hey, what happened? Oh. Okay. I can't replay the thing, so I'm just gonna take a guess and say, I don't know, fucking New York somewhere. I hate you too. Thank you, Vermont. So this is basically what City Guesser is, and that's why in the description and in the tag I said, not tag, but the notification I mentioned full motion video, because it's basically what it is. It's just watching a full motion video back in the 90s and all that other stuff, you know. That's basically what it is. I keep thinking that my mouse is, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. I didn't realize I could expand the chat. Now I see. Second time in a row that I don't pay attention to it. Anyway, so far stream is running good. Stream health seems this is something different from GeoGuessr. Because GeoGuessr, you just got to move around. Thanks for telling me where the hell you are. In friggin' Los Angeles. I should have solely marked this out, but I'm gonna go. Okay then. Nice.
Pikachu!
I know I'm not watching anything on Twitch.
Aww.
Is there someone else watching? Because this time I'm not watching my stream to monitor. I'm actually using my other monitor to do maintenance and stuff. Not, you know what I mean. But this is running well so far. Question mark. it looks like it's running well. Should be. Okay, so see that. Of having an actual second monitor. And the thing is, all I had to buy was a freaking DVI cable. It's like, with tax, it was like 16 bucks. So, not a money so I can't, because the money I earned from this, so I put it on there. Because I was planning on pre-ordering a PS5, or at least starting a pre-order at the local GameStop. Unfortunately, due to circumstances that we are all readily aware of, we couldn't do that because GameStop was actually closing near me. Not the actual company, just the store. But it really sucked because I was really hoping to actually start the pre-order. But it was also because stock was already out. And now I'm going to have to wait until Amazon, puts their stuff. Anyway. Okay. I'm confused. Where the hell is this? One thing is California. We're inside a building, so it's not like we can already see what the name is. By the way, in the span of time since I've actually done a stream, guess who got a Dreamcast? And I'm keeping it. For real. Yeah, me. Seriously have no idea where this place is. Oh, yes. Wait, it's a casino. Would it be Choctaw World Casino? Ah, it couldn't be. Couldn't be. It really couldn't be. Could it? Of course! It's in freaking Reno, Nevada! This is what I get for automatically assuming that, oh, it's a casino. It has to be Choctaw World Casino. No! Oh. It's this one. I think I've done this one. Yeah, I have. This is, before I got back into streaming. I should explain why I've been off from streaming for so long. For one thing, it's because I've been thinking about when I should go back to doing it, and what I should be doing, and all that stuff. Also, speaking of streaming, while we're on the subject, I have some unfortunate news regarding my YouTube streaming. And it is that a planned Let's Play that I was wanting to do on Starlink Battle for Atlas is unfortunately going to be cancelled, but there is a bright side. Next month on November 19th, you all know what's going to happen. Other than the PS5 being readily available to the rest of the world. So, there's a certain game that everybody's been clamoring about. You know, the game that takes place 57 years in the future, got really kick-ass things. Unless you customize your genitals and boobs and stuff. I'm not trying to say that to be pervy, it's literally something that the developer said. We'll give up. I have 3 hints. Polish development team. The game has been delayed numerous times. Actually, no, I have more than 3 hints. So, numerous delays, but is now gold, meaning it is now officially confirmed to being released next month. But the game takes place in the future, of course. But there's one final hint, and this is actually a reference to last year, I believe. I think it was last year. So, I think you all know where this is going. You know. Being there, walking the streets of the future is really going to be, Yep, the third hint is breathtaking. Fine, I'll say it. I'm happy to announce that as of next month on November 19th, I'll be getting Cyberpunk 2077 and I'll be doing a Let's Play of it. I will have one Let's Play, I'll have one file for personal use and I'll have another file to basically replicate what I'm doing in that first file. Yeah. I'm pumped for that game. It is going to be my first ever, actually. I thought that said Heist over there. It just says West. It's actually going to be my first CD Projekt Red game I've ever gotten. Which tells me that I should probably get more at some point, but at the same time, I'm trying to monitor my PS4's hard drive. Thank God for that, they say 825 gigabyte hard drive. 665, take it or leave it. I'm talking about the storage, not the price. Unless you're a scalper, in which case, fuck you. Seriously, scalpers are among the most scummiest people on planet Earth. I'll explain why. They are the sole reason why the PS5, both models, by the way, the Xbox Series X and the Series S, are all out of stock. They're the reason why so few people have been able to get the systems pre-ordered. And the problem with scalpers is what they end up doing is typically they will buy those items, usually out of stock, and then they will turn around and place said items on eBay or whatever, auctioning site there is, like Craigslist or something, for a much, much higher value than what was originally on the market. So say for example, and this is just a what if scenario, what if, by the way, oh yes, that's they've been suffering because of an asshole cop that was recently busted out of jail. Hey, congratulated me. Anyway. Oh. Straight up, this is Venice Beach. So what I was trying to say is, say theoretically that there is a PS5 Pro model or a PS5 Slim model that's due to come out sometime in the future. Pre-orders go up and within a minute it's already sold out. But here's the kicker. The people who try to do the pre-orders, only very few are actually able to secure their item. The problem is that typically scalpers themselves go online and buy in bulk what items they want. But this time around they've made bot accounts. Literally bot accounts, not bot as in, oh, I bought this. No, bot as in robot, robot without the row. It's basically an automatically programmed account that buys up all the stock, or whatever stock it can that's left, and that stock is then issued to the person who created that, the scalper. What they will then do is turn around and attempt to sell whatever product they have for a much higher value than what the item was on the market. So say for example, going back to the item what if thing, PS5 Pro ends up being, say, $300 because it's a smaller model with a lower storage size, and it's a more economic, not economic, but more it's a more cost efficient device that you could buy for much cheaper. If a scalper ends up doing that, what they could do is they could turn that profit into, oh, this $300 device? How about I turn around and sell that for frickin' $1,000? Please don't do that. Seriously, there are plenty of people, I myself included, who have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to pre-order something like that. Especially me, because I've never pre-ordered a game system before, much less bought one new. And now I can't do it right now because of frickin' scalpers. Seriously, shame on scalpers, shame on the people who don't think it's a problem. It is a problem, and it's not just game systems. There's also PC accessories and whatnot, like the RTX, whatever it was, I forgot. I think it was 390 or something, or no, not 3090 or 3080 or something. It was like this new NVIDIA RTX graphics card. And the thing is, it's gonna happen again and again and again. But you gotta stay one step ahead. If it's one thing I would know, it's that you have to keep a watchful eye out on whatever thing that you're going to be using to buy stuff. And whenever you see the opportunity, take that opportunity, get what you need, and don't worry about it. For me, I've set up notifications for both the standard model and the digital model of the PS5, which again is the one I'm getting, because I would only have enough money to get that, and I'm pretty sure there would be free shipping for the system regardless. But let's just say that I end up holding off on buying the system until after it comes out, and I put money into my Amazon account, and I end up buying a PS5 standard. I have the notifications turned on for that just in case I end up deciding I should hold off on pre-ordering until further notice, until I get more money on my Amazon account. But yeah, please note, the only thing I've ever bought on my Amazon account was actually the cable that I bought for the monitor. But other than that, I've never bought anything else on Amazon, so that's good. Because I still have, like, I think it was $483 on there, so I should be good, hopefully. But even if there are shipping fees, it shouldn't be that big a deal, hopefully. But, yeah. Oh, that's one of those kneeling buses. That's cool. Oh, it's San Fran. I've always wanted to go to California. Partially because I have a friend named Dalton who lived in California, but he actually moved to Texas. I think it was a year or two ago, I don't know. This is a new place. Now that Minneapolis place, I've actually gotten that in some playthroughs of this. Now, the thing about City Guesser is that it's not gonna set you how many things that you have to guess. It's just basically a loop. But for me, it's just nice and relaxing, you know. So we're going to be playing this for a while, probably until, let's say 11. Now, I was wanting to start the stream much earlier at 7:30, but, you know, got distracted, and then whenever I did get to streaming, I had technical issues because of some, you know, source issues. But now that I got everything working, it should be good. Hopefully. But anyway, actually, does the audio capture what's going on the screen? What's going on right now? It should, so. Okay, it does. Also, sorry about my phone being loud there. It's just because I was trying to... It was because of that Your Breathtaking video that I was watching. It's because I wanted to raise up the volume so you guys would hear it. Or whoever is watching would hear it. Because apparently it says that there's a viewer. I don't know about that one, Chief. Okay, so Dutch Bros. Okay, Hillsboro. Hillsboro? What the hell is a Hillsboro? It's bad that I almost misread that as vagina for a second. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. I am so sorry. Oh God, that was terrible. I am such a stupid mother. Fuck you, Pigeon. Okay. Alright. But yeah, you just watch the video, watch for hints, stuff like that. It's like a full motion video, but in modern times. Because this game literally came out not long ago. Like, a month or two ago, I think. I don't know. But, here we have some pigeons, and we have a nice wall. We got stuff. What the fuck is a Beaverton? Okay. Hillsboro. I can't help but think that I've seen that name before, but I don't know where that is. Maybe you could give me a hint. Is it Oregon? Is it Oregon? Yes. Okay, what kind of? It's... Oh, I get it. It was pointing to Hillsboro. It wasn't in Hillsboro. Okay, but thanks for the hint straight off the bat. This is very clearly New York. Yeah, it is, because the taxis, they usually use those crematories. Go out on a whim here and say Manhattan. Okay. Oh. Las Vegas. This time I know it is. I know it is. How do I know? Well, think about it. My fault Nevada is such a big state. This place is. I'm gonna go ahead and share the stream to my Facebook. I just put the word live, so I hope people don't think it. I hope people don't think I'm saying LIVE! I'm sorry you guys had to hear that. Anyway, El Paso? Maybe. Okay. Wait. Where's El Paso? Oh. Fuck you, Arizona, you and your desert ass. It's the sequel to Fuck You, Baltimore. Okay. I was about to say Manhattan, but never mind, it's Seattle. Seattle. I guessed in the water. I didn't realize this where Atlantis was. Oh, God. Okay, I know where this one is. This is the Chicago O'Hare Airport. I should know, because I've actually been to the Chicago O'Hare Airport when I was real little. It's much different here, but yeah. Whoops. Okay. Chicago O'Hare. Hey. Confetti! Right. Guess we're trying to make sure someone shuts the door. Also, why does this suddenly remind me of where Rockstar Games would be? Okay. Let me explain. So, there's Rockstar North, Rockstar San Diego. Oh, San Diego. There's the newly acquired and renamed Rockstar Dundee. What I mean by renamed is that Dundee is actually the name. Used to be. It was actually the developers of the Payday series and Crackdown 2. There's Rockstar Games, which is situated in New York. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so going on a limb, and I'm gonna say York of the New Kind. Where? I don't know. I do. I know exactly where we are. Brooklyn. Well, I was close. Also, hey, LGBTQ. The flag thing. By the way, it's Spirit Day. Nice. Okay, this is something... Edwards Hotel. Beep! Okay. Alright. Blah, blah, blah. Oh look, a Challenger. I remember this one time when I was with my dad. I forgot what year it was. I think it was 2017 or 2018 or something. But I was with him, and I think it was my brother and my sister, and we were driving, and I think it was a part of Texas somewhere. I say that like I'm not from Texas, but I am from Texas. I'm in Texas. I am Texas. But anyway, so I saw a Dodge Charger. There we go, I kind of spoiled it. I saw a Dodge Challenger, and I was like, oh, whoa, look at that cool Dodge Charger. And my dad saw what I was looking at, and he was like, son, I think you mean a Dodge Challenger. He didn't say it rudely. He was like, son, I think you mean a Dodge Challenger? It was really funny. And I was like, oh yeah, I did mean that. He then went on to explain that way back when Challengers and Chargers did look the same, but the only difference was the length of the cars and the fact that the Challenger is obviously a two-seater and the Charger was a four-seater. Although visually it has two doors, but hey, that was back then whenever it was different, where four doors were more for family vehicles, but then again, I'm probably talking out of my ass.
Well, I've got to get running.
Then again, when am I not? Anyway, alright. Okay, so I think it's well to establish the fact that I have no idea where the hell we are. As we can clearly see by restaurant. The greatest in fine dining. Welcome to restaurant. Oh wait. La Elite Restaurant? What? So a normal restaurant ain't good enough. You have to have elite restaurant. What? I'm sorry, what? This is blowing my 23-year-old mind. I had to, I would look it up, but that would probably be counted as cheating. Ah, Jesus. Alright. I I don't even know where this is. At all. It could be friggin' Mars or something. It's not Mars. If it was Mars, the sky would be red. It'd be all dusty and cloudy, and it'd probably have something to do with the UAC. Actually, speaking of the UAC and to that extent Doom, I'm actually going to be doing a live stream of the upcoming DLC, which is literally coming in, count 'em, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 days basically. Because the DLC comes out October 20th, so it's nice. I'm gonna be a dumbass and guess Portland. Okay. That was super humiliating. Oh my god. I thought, okay, it's gotta be friggin' Seattle or something. Or Oregon. MISSISSIPPI. What does that spell? Why, it spells Mississippi. It is the land of some people and stuff. It is in the countryside with some stuff. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh god. That was good. I didn't think I had that singing string, but oh. Portland. I technically got it right. Oh my god, it's Fallout 6! Or 5. Fallout 5 leaked gameplay. Never before seen. Actually, it'd be kind of funny if this turns out to be freaking West Virginia. Then I could say, Fallout 76 single player confirmed. Oh. If only. Yeah? Oh boy. Yeah? I mean, it could be West Virginia. Or it could be something else, and like I said earlier, I could be talking out of my ass. But we'll have to see. Because only way to know is if we pay attention. I'm gonna go get myself a drink. Okay, Pineville Junior High. Is Pineville a West Virginia? I guess one way to find out is actually by looking. What am I saying? It's not West Virginia. What am I thinking? It's probably frickin' Vermont, Connecticut, or frickin' freaking, it couldn't be Montana, because Montana is more of a mountainous state. It's more wide open, it's not like really, really hilly like this. Also, I could have sworn I've seen this in a freaking GeoGuessr game. Like, one of the ones I played in the past before it decided to say, hey, you know how you kept playing for free? Well, guess what? You can only play one free game now. So, have fun with that, you jackass. If anyone signs in just now and they hear that, just know that I'm not calling anybody a jackass but myself, because I technically am. Why am I a jackass? Because... Wait, I'm not an ass and my name isn't Jack. That's why. Have you guys ever yawned and then have your nose be all stuffy? Probably just allergies or sinuses or something. Whatever it is, it's a thing. I don't know where I was going with that. I'll just shut up now. Watch it be Maine. Why are there two Portlands? This is an absolute banger. There's Vermont, but oh, that's Vermont. Okay. I almost said Chaint Salisbury. Where is Connecticut? You know what? You gonna look up? No? Okay, I guess I'll go fuck myself then. Pineville Fire Department. Where is Pineville though? Seriously. And again, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna be like, that sounded terrible. Okay. And it says Davis, which happens to be a street I live near. Alright. And the thing is, I can't even rely on this fucking thing, because normally it shows the shape of the state, but no, it won't. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to rely on paying attention to the signs. Because if I pay attention to the signs, I will eventually see something. But at the same time, you know, all I've got to do is just pay attention to the signs. That's all. Eventually I will see. This, by the way. And that little jalopy. Surprised I remember what a jalopy means. Pineville. It's not Arkansas, I don't think. Maybe it is. Checking. I don't see anything. could also be Alabama, you know, where they are. It's also the home place of incest. We don't talk about that because incest is frowned upon everywhere, except, you know, to the people who actually like it, but I don't like it, nobody should like it, so, yeah. Where on earth could it be? And again, you can't pause this, so I couldn't, you know, pause it and take a look at that one big metal sign in front of that building. And I have to be very, very, very attentive to what I'm looking at. It's not like an answer's just gonna fall out of the sky. Shut up. Wait. No, I can't believe... No! I said shut up, and it was a notification about Sonic Mega. He was the person who did voice and performance work for Rivali from Breath of the Wild, and I believe he also voices and performs as him in the upcoming Hyrule Warriors game, The Age of Calamity. Yeah. Okay, where is this? Seriously. It's not like I could just see where it is. Can't. It could be frickin' New Hampshire for all I care. Probably isn't. Because, you know, answers just don't fall out of the sky. I guess if I... Wait, no. I'm trying to look at the license plates, but can't. I was thinking, hey, the people who live here, their license plates are... Wait. No, I didn't click on this. I was about to say it could be New Mexico, but I don't know. I don't think it is, because it's not until you get to the real mountainy areas that's more apparent. I don't know. Better check. I've actually been to New Mexico. It's pretty nice. What? Why would you guys build a road that passes through a frickin' missile range? And all this other stuff. You guys are weird. Okay. So, I don't know what it is at all. I know earlier the videos eventually ended, and before they actually ended, they actually showed, you know, videos of what it could be. So, maybe I could, you know, let that, you know, because again, I don't know anything about Pineville, alright? I really don't, because I don't know what state it's in. Hell, it could be frickin' I was trying to say frickin', and I just accidentally said fricket. Okay, it's a nice looking Mercedes. Was that a police car? That's probably a car with a roof rack. Time to play the game of, is it a police car or is it a thingy? It is... Oh, it was a police car. A sheriff. Nice. Still can't get any fucking clues off it, but whatever. Alright, I'll just watch this through. Maybe I'll eventually find a hint. Like, hey, it's here. It's not New York, though. I know that much. Unless... No, I couldn't be. It's not New Hampshire. It's not Vermont. It's not anything like that. Maine? It's a Maine. Okay, I'm waiting for a hint. There's a police car. I'm like, that's gonna help. Not really. That certainly won't help. I like how right after I say that, I see the word fine. Hello, Kato. Oh, that is so cute. I've always liked cats. They're so cute. And the thing is, like, oh. Okay, fine. I'm just gonna guess somewhere in Maine, because I am all out of ideas, so. Hold on. I literally checked in West Virginia. You telling me that I didn't zoom in far enough to see that? Note to self, zoom in further in maps. Because I am stupid. And this is somewhere in Florida. I know it. In fact, I know it so well. It's... I think I'm actually retarded. I literally have played this before, this map. And this is the second time I've guessed it wrong in the same place. It's in Los Angeles. And to add further insult to injury, it's here. So it's within the Los Angeles County and city limits. My God, how stupid am I? I'm not stupid, but I make stupid mistakes. That's what I mean. I was gonna say, how would a stupid man be able to graduate school? Anyway. Sunny... what? Okay, I know for a fact this isn't Texas. Got a nice hill there. Historic downtown. Downtown what? Okay, that says Gresham. Ah, boy. Oh. It... Oregon. Again. Oregon. Oregon! That's where my friend is. My friend Jordan lives in Oregon. I wonder how she's doing. I haven't seen her in over a year. Cause thing is, she actually helped me get my job at the theater I would say work at, but worked at is more likely. Cause the thing is, I literally haven't gone to work in over a year. That's one thing. Second of all, recently we were all notified that, like, I didn't get this message through Hot Schedule, so I assume I am without a job now. But the thing is, it was actually through a post I saw on I think it was either Twitter or Facebook. But anyway, what happened was I saw a post saying that due to, you know, movies that have originally been playing for the rest of this year being moved into next year, partially due to, you know, the thing going on. Oh hey, thanks for the follow. Mateus Malucelli. I'm really sorry if I butchered that. But anyway, there was a post I saw on I think it was either Facebook or Twitter. Oh, it happened 13 minutes ago. I didn't even notice. But anyway, it was a post that said due to movies that would have been released at the later part of this year being moved into next year, a majority, or I think all of the Alamo Drafthouse theaters would be closed down until further notice. But it's also because of, again, the thing going on. But they should be opening back up within early next year, probably. But even still, I am pretty damn sure I don't have a job anymore. But I'm okay with that, because I gave it my all. I worked hard. I had fun. And you know what? I'll still be a patron there, because I literally live within a mile's distance of an Alamo Drafthouse, which is nice, because that means I get to walk there, but I can't really do anything, because, you know, yeah. But, thank you, Mateus, for the follow. I appreciate that. I really do. Cool profile pic. Okay, this is gonna sound like dumb Texan moment, but this reminds me of Texas, probably. I like how I say it reminds me of Texas as if it's me saying I don't live there anymore. I've lived in Texas all my life. I still live there. The only difference is that now I live in a city that neighbored my old city. Or neighbors, not neighbored. But, yeah. I know this isn't Texas, though, because the second I guess that, it's just gonna be, hey, you got it wrong, ha 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 ha. Yeah. Go figure. But it could be, but probably couldn't be, because, apparently this game doesn't like my home state. I'm kidding. It is based on RNG, what maps you get, because it's RNG, so it's basically a roguelike, in a sense. Because it's completely randomized, you start with a different thing each time you start, you know. I have no idea what this is. And again, it couldn't be Texas, because, well, I should know, but at the same time, it could be. Because there are parts of Texas that look like it's from another state or something, but, I don't know. I should know. I've been to some parts of At this point, I just sound like a dumbass. I am a dumbass, sort of. Alright. What soothing sounds, though? Is it Mateus or is it Mateus? I know I'm probably butchering it both ways, but I'm willing to bet that it's Mateus, but I don't know. I know you're probably not watching now because I'm not really that interesting. I just do what I can to entertain. I like having fun. I'm not one of those big fancy Twitch streamers that have boatloads of equipment. I'm not one of those people who can readily stream from a game system using an Elgato, partially because, again, I'm saving my money for whenever a pre-order goes live for a PS5. But, you know, at the same time, yeah. Anyway, yeah, what I'm trying to say is the sounds in the background are really, really soothing. Car. And what about Donatello, Leonardo, and Michelangelo? The other Ninja Turtles. I sound like a drunk person, but I'm not. Because I've never drank alcohol. I have gotten drunk on sparkling grape juice, but that's different. I think it's more of a sugar high, but it was sort of like getting drunk. It's also because of fatigue. Speed bump. I'm paying attention to the license plates. I'm looking at license plates whenever I see them because I'll try and distinguish what it is, but I can't promise it's going to be perfect. Because I'm not saying my eyesight's bad, it's just I can't identify something that I'm looking for if it's moving. Like the cameraman moving slowly like this, just at a walking pace, I can kind of identify stuff, but I'm talking about cars. Because a car, it's different from... a car moves faster than a person walking, obviously. Damn it. Chalon and Bordeaux. Talking about new or old Bordeaux? You know, because of Mafia 3. Which I think that game is getting a definitive edition at some point, where it's remastered and everything. Yeah. I really have no idea where this is. It could be Houston. I'm just saying, it could very well be somewhere in Texas, but I'm not saying it is. At least until I get solid confirmation through a license plate or something. Car! License plate. Tried to see a license plate. Ended up failing. Anyway. Oh, I thought it froze. I know it's not California. And it's not Florida. Oh, God. This is so freaking confusing. Seriously, because this is another level I've never been to. Out of several I've seen. No license. That's a nice car though, but no license plate as far as I could see. Person walking a doggo. Car. Can't even see the license plate. Well, I can at least try and peep out this if I could see it. No. My best bet would have to be whenever a car is going this way and it just so happens to have a license plate, which I'd probably miss, but plenty of opportunities, I guess. Right. I hear a car approaching. I swear I'm not making excuses. I really have no idea where this is. It could be Texas, because I've seen parts of Texas that I've been to that actually look pretty nice. Bordeaux. Govan, whatever. Oh, I don't know. I guess the person's just standing there to catch their breath or just check on something. Nope, no plate. Couldn't see it. I'm talking about a vehicle that has a plate. There's an American flag over there, obviously, because I did choose USA. Oh, that car has a license plate on the front. It sure would have been nice to see that, but, yeah. Seriously, this is becoming really unbearable. I at least want to get some kind of hint that would tell me, hey, this is where you are. Okay, so this is obviously a wider thing, it looks like. Could be wrong, but who knows? Queen's Ferry? I don't know. You over there? You over there, buddy? Because he's checking on something. Come on. Move. Hasta la vista, baby. Vámonos. Apparently speaking Spanish working and I'm not even Hispanic. I hope that didn't sound racist, because I absolutely hate racism. Pretty sure anybody with a sensible mind would. But yeah. Racism, it has no place in the world. Anybody who is a racist, go shut the fuck up and die in a hole. Or if you're a fascist. What the heck was that sound? It was like, I think it's because I was yawning and I was trying to burp, so I was like, oh, there's a park. A park. Okay. Can I at least get some kind of good hint? Other than street names that I wouldn't even know where the hell are? Or fancy signs? Wait. I was thinking... got spit in the wrong pipe. I was gonna say, maybe a car could, like, stop here. I could check it. But, and I can't pause this, like I said earlier. I can't. I would if I could, but I can't. Probably because that would be considered cheating, because then you could easily check on something. But, yeah. God. Every time I yawn, it makes my nose all freaking stuffy. I don't know why. Okay, well, there's a car there, but no license plate at the front. Otherwise, I'd be able to just check it. It's 10 p.m. right now. Alright. This is hard. This is honestly really hard, because I haven't seen too many vehicles with license plates at the front that are heading this way. I've seen a couple, but that's every once in a while. Oh, God. Oh, boy. I am so sorry you had to hear that. Yep. Oh God. My cousins were like, leave me alone. They were supposed to be in bed. Cars! Tell me your secrets, please. God damn it. I say tell me your secrets and the guy just stops. Wow. You know what? Fine. We're just here to guess. Austin. How would I have known about that? There were no hints as to what state it was. At all. Ever. There were no hints unless I looked really, really close at a license plate. But even then, cars were moving, and some of the license plates on cars that were stationary were too far for me to read. How would I have possibly known it was frickin' North Carolina and Raleigh? Ah. Well, at least this is a different location, so. Also, GoPros. Best screen warp ever. Yeah, of course. I got Raleigh. That's what I was supposed to guess. Again, how would I have known? There were no hints whatsoever during that last level that said, hey, this is where you're at. Here you go. No, it's just have fun guessing. There we go. Have fun guessing. I swear to God, I got good sleep last night. I did. Like, I really, really did. The problem is, I had trouble sleeping. It's also because of the time I woke up. Because it was like, 6 something. And I usually wake up at 7 or 8. But, yeah. Kentucky City. No, it's not Kentucky City. I don't think. Is it? No. No, I don't think so. Pain bust. Pain bust. What if it's a zombie? It's a brain bust. I think maybe I should probably end the stream at like 10:30, not 11. Because I am starting to get tired. Yeah, I think I've had this round before, or this level. Hello. Someone just sent me a message on Roblox just now. Right. Oh. I thought that was a fat horse for a second. I didn't notice the dolphins till just now. Oh, Kansas City! Oh, well, then it's right here. Yeah, I'm not a freaking idiot. uh, uh, Prepare for wrong answer number 5,820. Miami, final answer. I was kind of close. It was in Florida. It was in Jacksonville, though, but I was kind of close. I'm doing marginally better. Okay. Alright. Oops. Also, I like how the sound effect you get when you were kind of close but still far away is just the doo-doo sound from older Windows computers. What the? Oh, Richmond, Virginia. Yes. I'm not gonna go ahead and quick guess. I'm gonna let this play out so that way I can watch and see what it is. Because, you know, I would like to, to make sure that I get all the clues I need instead of being a dumbass and guessing straight off the bat thinking, it's in Florida. Nope, Los Angeles. It's in Miami, Jacksonville. It's in Texas. Raleigh, North Carolina. Also, sorry I couldn't give you hints. I'm still pissed off about that. Seriously. How was I supposed to know it was going to be frickin' Raleigh, North Carolina if there were no solid hints? I could check the license plates, but the problem is, cars are either moving or way too far away if they were stationary. And I couldn't pause the video anyway. So, yeah. Here you go. There's your answer as to why I couldn't answer. Tampa. Tampa. Hey, nice. Oh, Hooters. Not the femboy one. You know, it's that this whole internet thing people do where it's like, oh, it's normal. It's Hooters, but it's femboys. I actually never met a femboy in person anyway, but I'm sure they're nice people. I should know because I've met femboys online. Just letting y'all know, I'm not an online dater, so yeah. Besides, I'm not really the romantic type anyway, like at all. Part of the reason is because, well, I'm just not a romantic person for one thing. Also, it's because of the fact that I frankly do not give a shit about relationships anymore. And let me explain. Also, Atlanta. Anyway, let me explain. Our truck. Okay. Now, going back to what I was saying. In high school, I think it was 11th or 12th grade, I forgot. But, basically, I had this person who I knew on Skype. Originally, I met her on Facebook, and then we added each other on Skype, and, you know. What happened was, she wanted to call me, and I thought, okay, well, must be important. And she told me that she recently broke up with her boyfriend. And I thought, well, okay. So, out of the blue, she asked me, do you mind if you could be my boyfriend? So, here's the thing. I do not do long-distance relationships. Or at least, I was alright with it, I guess, but let me explain. To give a little bit of backstory about this girl, she, I guess, suffered from depression. She never elaborated on that, but basically, she wanted attention. This is important later on in the story. So what happened was, I said, yeah, I'll date you online, I'll date you long distance, and maybe I'll cheer you up. I thought, you know, it's until she feels better emotionally. What ensued was several months, very, very long, painful months of having to find a right time to call and talk and stuff. Getting texts either on, or not texts, but messages either on Skype or on Facebook from her saying, you never call me, you should give me more attention, yada yada yada. Here's the thing to know. I was in high school. like I said, 11th or 12th grade, I completely forgot. It was one of those. I forgot. The reason why I bring that up is because, do you honestly think that anybody in 11th or 12th grade who is likely busy with schoolwork or helping out with their family and stuff like that, do you honestly think they're gonna wanna, go on a Skype call that ends up being several hours long, only to be berated, saying, "You're doing a bang-up job being my boyfriend. You're blah, 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 blah. You never give me attention, blah, 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 blah." Again, you have to understand. I was doing everything I could to make sure I could give her attention whenever I was able to. Other than that, it was either homework or schoolwork. It was helping out with my family sometimes, my folks. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by my family. I'm not saying, oh, I have a family, I have kids and stuff. I don't. I'm not married. I'm not in a relationship. I don't have children. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by my family. Is just my folks that I live with. But anyway, this went on for quite a few months, and I do mean quite a few months. It started in the fall of. See, if I was in 11th grade, it would be 2014. But it was in. I don't know. Again, I completely forgot what grade I was in. But all I can say is it was a long and very painful experience in terms of mentally and emotionally. And the main reason being is because of just how rude this bitch was. And please note, I don't normally say that stuff about women unless they're being absolute assholes. And believe me, she was. She absolutely fucking was. And I'll explain. She demanded constant attention. Please note, again, I was a high school student. So, if she wanted to talk to me during the time I was in school, I couldn't do that. Second of all, she would lie about how often I would give her attention, saying, "You never call me." I tried every opportunity I could to Skype with her every other day if I could, or whenever I had the opportunity. I messaged her on Facebook or on Skype, and she would occasionally reply. And she would act like everything is fine. But then, out of the blue, she'll want to call me, and then she'll start berating me straight off the bat, saying, "I don't think you're taking this relationship very seriously. Yada yada yada. You're doing a bang-up job being my boyfriend. Blah 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 blah. You never call me. This went on for literal months. It literally got so bad that I had to talk to my younger cousin, who, by the way, is a few years younger than me. I had to ask him for advice. And he literally straight up told me I should probably just break up with it. And at first I thought, nah, I should probably give it more time, see if maybe I could make amends here. No. I had to end up literally breaking up with her because I just couldn't stand it. It's not that, oh, I'm not a good boyfriend. I was doing everything I could. It was her that was the problem. Because, you remember what I was saying about her wanting constant attention and whatnot? It's because of the fact that she would frequently she would frequently threaten to commit suicide. she would say it as a ploy to try and get my attention, to make me call her more, stuff like that. And I get that she had mental issues, most likely, being depressed and whatnot. But the problem is, she was manipulative. Every single time I wouldn't call her for even just a short span of time, like say a few days, she would say, "You don't give me that much attention, I might as well kill myself." It was unbearable. Alright? And anyone who, whenever this becomes a VOD on YouTube, a video on demand, to anyone who says, well, you just didn't give it that much thought, how would you like it if somebody who you barely even knew on social media, recently got out of a relationship and asked you if you wanted to be, their significant other, their partner, their boyfriend or girlfriend or otherwise, and that person who asked you that ended up wanting every little bit of attention, even when you were busy. And I get that beforehand I should have probably said, I can't talk right now, I'm busy. But at the same time, you can't really do that when you're busy, because you have to have full attention on the thing that you're doing. But going back to what I was saying, how would you feel if the person who asked you that in the first place, and you were trying to give them as much attention as you could, even despite you being busy with, say, schoolwork or maybe a job, something like that, and the person ends up berating you, either through messages or through a video or, voice call, saying, "You're not doing very well at this, you're being stupid, blah 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 blah," sometimes insulting your intelligence. How would you feel if that was you on the receiving end of all that? If that was you being asked if you wanted to date this person because of something that they went through, and you're thinking, oh, it's just until things get better, until they start cheering up. But it turns out to be a big freaking ordeal where they just end up being an asshole to you. All I'm saying is, this is the whole reason why I will never be in a relationship again. Because I don't want to risk that happening again. Because I'm not saying I am guilty for what happened, because I'm not. I worked my ass off to make sure I could give her attention, but at the same time, I don't even care at this point. But what I'm trying to say is, again, I worked my absolute ass off in school, trying my hardest to do my work, but at the same time, at home, I had to help out with stuff, and then on the same token, I also had to deal with having to message someone on social media or something about, hey, can we do a Skype call? And then for them to turn around and start berating you, stuff like that. And you know what the worst part about this whole entire thing was? The worst thing out of all this is whenever I actually did end up breaking up with her, she tried to turn this around on me, saying that I was the reason why the relationship wasn't going so well. That I wasn't paying much I wasn't paying much attention to her. That I cared very little about her. And that, I made her not feel well whenever I ended up telling her that I was breaking up with her. let you know. Whoever ends up seeing this whenever I post it on YouTube as a VOD, do not, I repeat, do not go into a relationship if that's going to be the way it is. Or the person that ends up asking you, hey, do you want to be in a relationship? And they just were in a relationship. Just say no to it. Because, God forbid, you get placed into the same situation that I was in. Because I foolishly accepted that request. You know, her asking, hey, do you want to be my boyfriend? I just got out of a relationship and maybe it could be better. Don't ever fall for that. Alright? Because what happened was, whenever I broke up with her, I told her straightforward, I don't think this relationship is going to work out. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to, cut the relationship. And she starts going into a tangent, saying, I knew you couldn't handle this, blah blah blah. I don't feel very well. I think I'm about to do something bad to myself, blah blah blah. That is a prime example of manipulation in relationships. That right there is literally the definition of manipulation. Saying something or threatening to do something in order to make somebody change their mind, when the person who is making those threats or saying those things is doing something toxic to their friendship / relationship / marriage. That's exactly what happened to me. And that's exactly the reason why I don't think I would ever go into a relationship like that again. Because I don't want to risk the same thing happening now. So, as much as I'd like to be in a relationship, one thing, I don't know who with. Second of all, I just don't want to risk it, right? It was a foolish mistake on my part for even saying yes. But it was stupid of her to even say, hey, I'm gonna be in a relationship. After what I went through, if I could go back in time and tell myself no, I don't even care about that. I would happily go back in time and tell my younger self, don't say yes. You have no idea what you're about to get yourself into. This girl is not nice in the slightest. She may act nice, but then do something even a teensy bit wrong, like not even giving her attention for maybe a day or two because you're busy with stuff. And she starts flipping the hell out on you, acting like you're the worst person in existence. Yeah, I have a better question. Why is she the worst person in existence? Huh? Why is it that she's pinning this on me like I'm the problem with the world, when it's her who's literally manipulating me, saying, if you don't give me attention, I'm gonna do something bad to myself. You know what? Do it. Fucking do it. I don't even care at this point. Do you even... Okay. If I were to possess my younger self right now, I would totally say that stuff. Because back then, I didn't understand that kind of stuff. I didn't understand the concept of, how abusive a relationship could be. And yes, it is in fact abusive. It wasn't physically abusive. It was mentally abusive. It was emotionally abusive. And the fact that I'm, letting this all out, it feels good. you know? And I know I said I was going to be ending the stream at 10:32 or 10:30. I mean, I'm going to let it go on longer, partially because I still want to talk, but it's also just, you know, my enjoyment with this game, so it might end up being 11 by the time I end this. But again, this is just my personal bit of advice to the people out there who may have been asked recently or are being asked right this second by somebody who you probably hardly even know on social media if you want to, you know, date them because they just got out of a relationship. Don't make the same mistake that I did. Alright? Because now I think I know why her relationship before me didn't work out so well. It was because of how manipulative she was. She claimed that it was the other person's fault, but it wasn't. And the thing is, you want to know how bad she was as a person and how much I hated that relationship? She literally spied on me. I don't mean she came over to my house and spied on me. I mean, she would have people send me friend requests on Facebook. This is actually on, like, my original Facebook account that's no longer around, because it got reported and taken down for whatever reason. But what happened was, basically what happened was, I got a friend request from somebody and I thought, okay, this seems like a nice person. And after a little while talking to them, they asked me if I was single. And I thought, well, you know what, concerning the whole relationship bullshit I was in, I'm just gonna say no, because honestly, I don't really care for the girl I'm with, because she's been nothing but an asshole to me. Turns out, she had someone add me, so that way, whenever they asked me that question, they would trick me into saying no, and then the girl I was in a relationship with would end up going off on me for saying that. And the problem is, she did this quite often. Now, please note, the people I added who happened to be her friends were very nice people. But then, because of her manipulative, you know, personality, they started to go against me, saying, well, I thought you said you were single, blah, 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 blah. You're not a good person, no, blah, 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 blah. Well, really? Really? I have a question to those same people. How would you feel if you were in a relationship like that, where you would try and try and try to talk to that person that you were in a relationship with as often as you could, either through Skype, on Facebook, on any kind of social media or any kind of social platform, and they would occasionally respond, you know, not much. And then they would say, oh, I'm too busy for a Skype call. So then you wait a few days after they say they're busy, and then they turn around and say, you never call me on Skype. So you mean to tell me that all those times I've attempted to call you on Skype, those were all ill-fated attempts. Those were all bad attempts at calling, you know, because, you know, hey, guess what, I'm just not going to answer you, and then whenever I do want to call you, I end up trying to call you, and then I start going on a big tirade against you, saying, "Well, you never call me. I thought we had a relationship. You're doing a bang-up job being a boyfriend, blah 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 blah." Well, again, you think about the way you've been treating me. You think about the way you've treated people in the past who have been in relationships with you. Right? Because again, okay. The fact that I had to go through so much in that relationship, that it turned me off from ever wanting to be in another relationship. Also, I don't even care if I get this wrong. I'm just gonna say it. Philadelphia. And I was trying to say, from her point of view, I was being the asshole. I was deliberately not giving her attention because, oh, well, I'm just gonna be a terrible boyfriend. The reason why I didn't give her much attention is because I was busy with life. Either school, helping out with my folks, stuff like that. But turn this around on me saying that I'm the problem. No, I'm not the problem. And the thing is, later into the relationship, as it was getting towards the end of the relationship, whenever it was about to have me ending the relationship, I started deliberately ignoring her, only occasionally messaging her. And the reason being then is because I knew what she was doing. She was being manipulative. She was acting the way that she did because she wanted her way, because she wanted all the attention in the world. Because, if I don't get attention, I'm just gonna kill myself. If I could possess my younger self now, and she said that, I would literally say, do it. I don't care about you anymore. You're being such an impolite and disrespectful and horrid person to me that at this point, I don't even care what you do. Because at this point in time, do you think I would honestly give a shit if she did whatever she did to herself? Given the fact that I've tried my best to keep this relationship as stable as I could, but she was the one making it hard. It's just horrible. I would not wish that kind of relationship on anybody at all. But the fact that she decided to take it upon herself to do something like that, to decide, hey, you know what, I think I'm just going to be an asshole. I'm just going to be an asshole to this person who's just literally trying to live their life, who's trying to, just do what they can. But, let me just make this person's life a living hell because of that. And then they turn around and say that you're the problem. Then they turn around and say that you, the person who is trying their best to give the other person attention, to make sure that the person is okay, even despite the fact that said person who is trying to make sure someone is okay is also simultaneously busy with life. And the person they're in a relationship with happens to be abusive in terms of emotionally and verbally. They are manipulative. They are rude. They are extremely clingy. And I know relationships have clingy people, that's just how they are. But I mean clingy in a bad way. Because any opportunity she could, whenever she said I didn't give her enough attention, yeah, that's a fucking lie. Okay. The problem is that, again, very toxic relationship consisting of abusive behavior, emotionally and verbally. I mean verbally as in, whenever we call on Skype. We have, I don't know, manipulative. We have extremely rude and not very nice. We have attention seeking. And finally, we have the fifth and final deadly sin of this. Flipping the tables on the person who is trying to do good in the relationship in the first place. Which in this case is me. I was trying to make sure the relationship was fine. She, however, was trying to make it to where my life was a living hell. So, how do you think I would feel? Obviously not well. I do not like that kind of relationship in the slightest. It is outright toxic in many circumstances. It's just utterly horrendous to deal with. Hey, Danganons. I hope I said that right. I'm doing good. I'm actually talking about this relationship thing I had to deal with a few years ago. It was, basically I was talking about this relationship I was in a couple of years ago when I was in high school, and basically what had happened was there was this girl who recently got out of a relationship, and she asked me, hey, do you mind if we could be in a relationship? And I at first thought, okay, well, this is probably just until she cheers up and she's alright. No, it wasn't. It consisted of me giving her attention whenever I could, while simultaneously having to juggle doing school stuff or helping out with my folks. And whenever I couldn't give her that much attention, she would say, you never call me, blah 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 blah. You're being rude because you don't talk to me that much. And I tried to tell her how busy I can be. Doesn't believe me. Again, please note this is way back in the past, several years ago. I think it was 11th grade or 10th grade, I forgot. But, yeah, it was just a bad relationship. Sorry if I kind of dragged that on, but other than that, I'm doing good. I say that like the relationship was recent, but it wasn't. But I'm doing well. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell I am in this game. Apparently where I am is a screen. Okay, fine. Oh, fuck you. It was main. Oh, I know where this is. This is here! Are you still there? My audio is being picked up for the mic, but I don't know. Oh, I thought that said a Nazi for a second. I was about to say, what is this, Wolfenstein? Yes, I'm going to be one of those people. Wolfenstein 2 wasn't that bad of a game. I always thought it was a pretty good game. It was actually really good. Also, Youngblood isn't that bad. Sure, it has microtransactions, but you don't need them, and it's kind of a spin-off, but at the same time it's kind of a sequel because it takes place after Wolf 2, but I'm getting off the subject at hand, which is, let's play a game! Let's play Where the Fuck Am I? Where the fuck am I is in Purgatory. I think there's actually a town in the US called Purgatory. I could be wrong though, but hello, officer. Ow. Just hit my hand on the bottom of my table.
Nice mask, man. Appreciate it.
Kung Fu style. Kung Fu style, bro.
I'm real direct and indirect.
Yeah.
So the indirect part is like I have a
Roswell. Or Albuquerque. Maybe Santa Fe. I don't know. Roswell? Okay, so the first guess was right, but I just didn't know. 'Cause I'm stupid. Not really. Oh, snow! Yay. I don't think I've been on this level before. yeah, I have been on this level. Say level in the main game.
Bye. Love you too.
Seattle? Shit. This... At least we're not Detroit. You know what I'm talking about, right? The, fun times in Cleveland again. It's Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Been under construction since 1868. See a river that catches on fire. So polluted that all our fish have AIDS. See the sun almost 3 times a year. This guy has at least 2 DUIs. Flash looks like a Scooby-Doo ghost town. Don't slow down in East Cleveland or you'll die. Our economy is based on LeBron James. We're so retarded that we think this is art. I forgot the rest of the lyrics, shit. I'm gonna have to look it up. Here it is. Fun times in Cleveland again, still Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Under construction since 1868. See a river that catches on fire. It's so polluted that all our fish have AIDS. We see the sun almost 3 times a year. This guy has at least 2 DUIs. Flash looks like a Scooby-Doo ghost town. Don't slow down in East Cleveland or you'll die. Our economy's based on LeBron James. Buy the house for the price of a VCR. Our main export is crippling depression. We're so retarded that we think this is art. It could be worse though, at least we're not Detroit. We're not Detroit. Oh. This is Minneapolis, isn't it? Or not? Wait, no. Oh no, it's fucking Portland, Oregon again. Yeah. That means a place I have to test. New York. New York. Which place? No, not Babylon. Brooklyn. Alright, 3 minutes left in the stream. Okay. So. I think I was dressed as Hitler first. That's kind of stupid. Miami. Fuck. Where is this? Oh. Okay, well this is new. I guess. Yeah, it is new. What is this? This is cool. Is this some kind of like subterranean tour thing? It looks cool, but I have no idea what the fuck it is.
Trip up your time in the deck. I'll see you when you return. Have a good time.
Whoa. It's one of those diagonal elevator thingies. It's like an escalator. Elevescalator. Escalator. Neon Angel Evangelical. I think that's the wrong name for the area. Oh, I get it. So it's an escalator, but it's an elevator. But it's an elevator, so it's not an escalator. Elevation that excites. Also, I've said elevator way too much, and I think I might die. Yeah. Okay, that was an It's just... Seriously, what the hell is going on? So now it's going diagonally to the left. So... Okay. Oh. Now we're out of the thingy. Wait a minute, no. I know this. St. Louis! St. Louis. Somewhere. Yeah, St. Louis is in Louisiana, I think. Okay, we need to talk. Why? Okay, also, in my defense, how was I supposed to know? Oh, right. Missouri. I forgot. Welcome to another episode of Just How Retarded I Am. I'm so retarded that I completely forgot that this place is not down here. I'm fucking stupid. Right. Let's attempt to rectify this with one more game. I know I said 11, but I'll make it up for my... idiotic assumption that St. Louis was on the coast, not towards the north. Because, you know, I know about Missouri, but the problem is... okay. Again, I should mention, when I was little, I learned that that was where St. Louis was, but I completely forgot about it. So whenever I was looking on the coast, I thought, oh wait, I think I've seen this. It's St. Louis. So I go down where the Gulf Coast is, and I see Bay St. Louis, and I thought, oh, that's alright, that's it. It's not it. It was in Missouri. How did I forget about that? Oh, I know. Because of the fact that the education system is shit. Said it. I was in school as a kid, it was alright. But now the education system is just flawed. Like, seriously, how was I supposed to even remember that? I learned about it whenever I was little. But how am I supposed to remember that if I learned it so long ago once? At the same time, I'm not exactly adept in knowing my geography, so, yeah. As for this, it's just, I don't even know where this is. New York. No, it couldn't be.
I'll see you around, Jason, okay? I just gotta get back to work.
Charlotte. I mean, I did rectify what I did wrong. But and now I am immediately confused. It's probably Florida. But knowing my luck, it's probably also California. Or any of the other coastal states. But I think I'm going to be really fucking ballsy and say Miami. Okay, that's Times Square. And after this, I'm going to bed. I'll take it. Okay. Now. I think this is a good stopping point. Okay, now it's a good stopping point. I hope you all have enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy, then follow me if you would like. Let your friends know all about this Twitch channel. And if you're interested, I also have a YouTube channel where I stream PS4 stuff. And that'll be nice. My name on YouTube is literally just Fur Plays. The F and the P in the name are both capitalized. But yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe on there if you're interested. And, yeah. I gotta say, it feels weird getting back to streaming, but I'm honestly glad that I decided to come back, because I've really missed it. I have. And now that I have some new equipment, which is the DVI cable that I'm using for the monitor that my mouse cursor is currently on. Swoop, boop, whoop. There it is. I am glad that I got it, because now it makes streaming a lot easier, because now all I have to do is just start up my stream, start up whatever I'm going to be doing, and that's it. And you can look forward to more streams in the near future. And as an added bonus for YouTube anyway, I'm pleased to announce that in 16 days, that's the wrong thing. That's still the wrong thing. October 31st, Halloween. I'm pleased to announce that in the days leading up to that, I will be doing not really an audition, more of a practice session in a GTA Online on PS4, because I'm actually going to be doing a Halloween Hellraiser special on GTA Online on PS4 on Halloween. It's going to be great. And the best part is, it is a certain company's 60th anniversary, and next year it is a certain Blue Hedgehog's 30th anniversary. So what a better way to celebrate both than with the Halloween Hellraiser special being centered around Sega and Sonic. Yeah, so basically this Halloween Hellraisers episode that I'm doing, this special, is called the Sonic Special, but I'm thinking about renaming it to the Sonic, no, Sonic. Yeah, the name, it's still kind of a work in progress, but the current name is just the Sonic Special. Wait, I've got it. The Supersonic Special. Wait, I could just drop the "the", so it's just Halloween Hellraisers 3 Supersonic Special. The original name was going to be Blast Processing to the Past, because it was going to be centered around a Sega Genesis that transports the main characters, or the main protagonists, to the Sega Dimension, or the Sega Universe. But after I recently got the Dreamcast, again anyway, but I digress. I thought about it. What a better way to celebrate Sega's 60th anniversary than with revamping the story to where, instead of it just being a simple, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails versus Eggman, I could do it a part what if scenario, meaning, what if Sega makes a third Sonic Adventure game, which they kind of confirmed recently, if you hadn't guessed. But, at the same time, I decided to revamp it where instead of the Sega Genesis transporting the main protagonist to the Sega universe, it is a Dreamcast. And what's really funny is I have not only the Dreamcast, but I have a genuine copy of Sonic Adventure 2 for the Dreamcast. And I thought to further give in more of a immersive feel, I'll have the Dreamcast unhooked, save for the controller, and the game's still going to be in there. I'm going to have it on my plastic table right in front of me, or sort of right next to me is what I mean by in front of me. Because right in front of me is going to be my wireless keyboard and everything. But what's going to happen is, at the beginning of the story is my character Rex hosting a Halloween party at his Paleto Bay arcade. And what ends up happening is after the party, Rex and his three friends travel back to Rex's apartment in Los Santos. It's the Eclipse Apartments garage, or Eclipse Towers apartment. And when the characters get there, they discuss among themselves, what would be a good way to celebrate Sega's 60th anniversary. Turns out all they need is a Sega Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure 2, and you got yourself a good time. Because you got, the Chow stuff, you got kart racing, and of course the traditional, if you die it's my turn, if I die it's your turn. Why did I mess that up? Why did I say what I'm trying to say is basically just that. So they discuss it among themselves and they all unanimously agree on that. So what ends up happening is Rex hooks up the Dreamcast and everyone gets the controllers. And so something weird happened. Voice crack. Weird happens whenever Rex hooks up the system. Whenever he hooks up the power cable anyway. After, the AV cable. There's a strange blue woo-woo blue spark that comes from the system. It doesn't damage it in any way, shape, or form. It's just a blue spark of energy. And Rex thinks, well, it has been a long time since I've used this. But then, whenever Rex turns on the TV and turns on the Dreamcast, the whole entire room is enveloped in a bright blue light. and they get transported to the Sega Dimension, or universe, whatever you want to call it. To be more precise, since they had SA2 in the system, they're in the Sonic Adventure universe. And what's really interesting is to add on to this sort of crazy conundrum of wackiness, is that I decided to make it to where the universes within the Sega universe, Sega Dimension, whatever you want to call it, they have their own distinct timelines. And the thing is, the timelines are continuous, meaning that they don't follow what the game has. It's based on the universe that the game was within. So at that point in time in the Sonic Adventure universe, SA2 had already happened. The main characters already done their job. The Space Colony Ark is now above Earth, orbiting as it should. And, Shadow was believed to have passed, but of course Sonic Heroes, he's still alive and all that stuff. And there are some references to Sonic Heroes and other games. Except 06, we don't talk about that bullshit here. In fact, I'm not even sure if that was even a Sega game. It is. But, basically, the four characters are all thinking, wait, where are we? And then all of a sudden, they hear a voice to their sides, and it turns out to be an innocent bystander, who will be important later. He starts to come over to the four characters when all of a sudden time freezes, save for the four characters. Everything else around them is frozen. And out of nowhere, a bright flash of energy just blasts. And then a character who is revealed to be the embodiment of the Sega Dreamcast, simply known as Dreamer, comes up to the characters and greets them, explains to them what's going on and how they can help. And at first it's vague as to how they can help. But the thing is, how they can help is by being the very characters that they idolize. I think you know where this is going. So basically, after Dreamer leaves and time resumes, my friend Chris, who's going to be playing as his character, actually he'll be two characters. He'll be himself, but whenever it comes to the Sega stuff, like when we're all in the Sega Dimension, he'll be Knuckles. Yeah, you know where this is going. So, Chris, who has yet to be renamed, tells Rex that, hey, you look a little different. You might want to go to a place that has a mirror. But, oh wait, no. My friend Amelia, who will be playing as Amy, again, still called Amelia at that point before character stuff, she says, Rex, you look kinda different. Chris says, yeah, you might want to go to a place with a mirror and check that out. You look way different from before. So, my character, who, of course, is me, obviously, yours truly, I go to a nearby store that has a mirror inside it, and I see the truth. When we were transported to the Sega Dimension, which is revealed that we were called into the Sega Dimension by Dreamer, it turns out that upon doing so, we were transformed into the very characters that we were all dressed up as. Me as Sonic, my friend Chris as Knuckles, my friend Amelia as Amy, and I'm gonna see if maybe my friend Toby could join in, because he's been on some streams, and if so, I could probably see if he could be Tails. But all four of those protagonists are now the very characters that they dressed up to be. So, yeah. But basically, the story of the actual special right after that is basically a mixture of a few SA2 elements, like Sonic being framed for a crime he didn't really commit, and, you know, Shadow is back, but he's on Sonic's side, of course, because Shadow is more of an anti-hero, but he does possess the heart of a hero, I guess. But what happens is, it's revealed that there's a new antagonist alongside Eggman, a mysterious artificial ultimate life form by the name of Epsilon. A life form made by the remnants of the Bio-Lizard, Chaos, and a bit of DNA from Shadow that was used and combined in order to create the ultimate life form. The ultimate artificial life form. Epsilon is capable of many things. He is capable of shape-shifting by turning into a liquid to instantly leave or take an enemy by surprise. He can use the advanced form of chaos control that the Bio-Lizard could. And he can even use the power of chaos to its full potential with the DNA of Shadow imbued within him. With this very power, Epsilon not only shows a very big threat to the place that he is within, which is California, but he could pose a very, very big threat to humanity as a whole. So now, it's up to Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Amy, and Shadow, along with other characters met along the way, to save the world from total annihilation. Welcome to Halloween Hellraisers 3, the Super Sonic Special. Yeah, it's kind of cheesy, and I'm still working on the story. Basically, after all that, the characters go their own ways, and Knuckles goes to Mount Chiliad to search for a Chaos Emerald. Tails looks for some Chaos Emeralds. Amy goes to the casino, which is a bit weird considering the fact that, according to Sonic series lore, she's 12. Why would a 12-year-old hedgehog be going to a casino? Wouldn't they just kick her out? But as for Sonic, he goes somewhere to sleep because, you know, it was a long party that he was at on Earth as Rex. You know, me. Rex isn't really my real name. It's Brandon, but I call myself Rex. It's a online persona / fursona. But basically what happens is Sonic goes to sleep in in Mirror Park, and he gets woken up by a gun officer because, surprise, surprise, like I said, there are some elements from SA2. And one of those elements is that Epsilon being able to shapeshift and having the DNA of Shadow, he is able to shapeshift into Shadow, having all of his abilities. And because of all that, Eggman instructs him to break into the Federal Reserve Bank just like Shadow did in SA2. And so because of that, what happens is Epsilon quickly transforms into Sonic, and just as he does so, and he's leaving the bank, he gets spotted by some gun soldiers, and so he activates Chaos Control before leaving. Originally it was going to be him just turning into Shadow and doing all that, but then I thought that would be more realistic for him to do this as Shadow and then turn into Sonic to frame Sonic. Because the thing about it is, the world in the Sonic Adventure universe likely knows about Shadow nowadays because of his heroic efforts to save Earth from being destroyed by the space colony Ark. So because of that, it would make more sense for Epsilon to transform from his standard form into a replica of Sonic. So because of that, the gun soldiers see Epsilon and they think, oh, it's Sonic? So he is breaking into there again. So they start looking for him, and then they eventually find him at Mirror Park. Finally, I got the name right. And of course, they take him to none other than Sigma Alpha 2. So, yeah. And then, of course, we have the iconic Sigma Alpha 2 heading due south over the city. We're en route, everything's a go. This is Control Tower, we have you on radar. Report status of captured Hedgehog aboard. Over? That's a 10-4. Cargo secured on board and... What? Didn't copy that. Over. The Hedgehog is gone. He's taken over everyone aboard and... What's wrong? What in the world? Freeze! What do you think you're doing? Get that Hedgehog! But the thing is, for this scene, since you can't snowboard in GTA Online... I mean, theoretically you could if you broke off a piece of the helicopter and rode it on the ground, but you couldn't really do that from 1,000 feet in the air. So instead, my character is just going to grab a parachute. But the dialogue is basically going to be the same as the original scene from SA2. But, of course, Sonic will say, talk about low-budget flights. No food or movies, I'm out of here. I like running better. But allow me to demonstrate my Sonic voice. Talk about low-budget flights, no food or movies, I'm out of here. I like running better. It's not my best, but it's an admirable attempt at replicating the voice of the world's most iconic Blue Blur. But, anyway, of course, it leads into a new version of City Escape called City Evasion. Nah, I'm kidding. It's still called City Escape, but it starts from a different location, and, you know, it's going to have a different route and everything, but what's going to happen is, if I'm able to pull this off, I'm going to have a group of players playing as the gun soldiers that are trying to catch Sonic. But what's going to happen is they don't have to actively chase after him, but there will have to be characters that have their own personal vehicles that are colored to look sort of like a militaristic, policey kind of look, along with outfits. And they're going to have to be placed on the road in a way that creates a path for my character to travel along, sort of like it's a video game that's telling you where to go. And of course, at the very end, you can't have an SA2 reference without the iconic truck chase. Anyone who decides to do that can either choose an MOC, can be with or without the cab, the trailer, or you can also use the Pounder Custom, whichever one works. But you will have to make sure that if you plan on going fast, you have to make sure that my character is far enough away where I'm able to sort of stay in front, but you can't go full throttle or else you'll just pancake me to death. So what's going to happen is you're going to have to watch your speed, of course on turns, because big trucks like that can't really turn that well. But what's going to happen is during the chase scene, my character is going to have to go into tight alleyways, and the truck driver is going to have to find an alternative route to try and catch up to Sonic. Sonic's then going to have to keep running and it'll be it'll be interesting, but basically the general route is going to be from the Richards Majestic Theater, because they got permission from Solomon Richards to basically station up there and wait for Sonic. And because Sonic, in the story anyway, is wearing a tracker on his ankle, they see a signal pip not too far from where they are, and so as he's running by that place and he's starting to run away from it, the truck starts up and it suddenly busts out of the movie studio place and Sonic begins running. So the general route is, as soon as Sonic reaches to probably either the street ahead or 2 streets ahead. Like, okay, this is what I mean. This is basically what I mean. So, okay. So, what I mean is, oh, cool. Okay, this is Richards Majestic, right here. Looks cool. Yeah, it's here. Basically, I won't be running through here, but what's going to happen is, okay, so I'm going to be starting at the Galileo Observatory right here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go from here, follow along here, go here, then I'm going to go along here, follow this road, and it'll take me from here into the city. From there, I'm gonna keep going this way. There'll be some gun troops over here that'll make Sonic go this way. Then I'm going to keep going this way. There's going to be some gun troops over here, and some gun troops over here. So of course it's going to be that way, and then that way, some gun troops over here, and that means I'm going to have to go this way. What's going to happen is, I'm likely going to have the person stationed in the truck for the truck chase scene stationed over here, so that way I could have plenty of ample time to start sprinting over here. Because what's going to happen is, they're going to start up the truck and then drive out, go this way, bust through the little gate thing, and judging by the fact that the Pounder Custom isn't particularly fast, that would mean that I'm most likely going to be over here. So what's going to happen is, at this point, I'm going to be on the sidewalk, and the truck's going to be on the road. I'm going to go like this, and then it's going to try and turn, and it's going to go over here. What's going to happen is, I'm going to be all the way over here. I'm going to follow, the truck's going to be turning around and going like this, trying to get me, and I'm going to be on the road. So then, Sonic will Okay, so there's gonna be I was thinking about doing a jump over here, but then I realized no, your character would take fall damage and likely die. So there's gonna be gun troops over here in a sort of diagonal line, so that way they could guide the truck. Sonic's gonna go down here, follow this road, go here, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna start going over here, and so the thing is, whenever Sonic reaches this area where the Pacific Bluffs Country Club is, in the story, this is basically where the not progress tracker. It is basically going to be a sort of barrier in a way. Basically, pretend there's an invisible line here, and the truck runs on a local power grid that's wireless. Or not wireless, but basically it has a set area it can drive in, and whenever Sonic reaches over here, the truck will start to power down because it's outside of that available area. And so because of that, they lose Sonic and they can't really go further because the truck's power systems have turned off, including the doors, and they won't be able to catch up to him in time to catch him because, of course, Sonic is a supersonic blue hedgehog. So, of course, stage done. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Ka-ching! Yeah, no problem. That's my best voice of Sonic, probably. But after getting past here, the truck actually has to go backwards because they have to call in a towing system, or towing service, or whatever. But, what happens is, eventually Sonic runs all the way over to here in Chumash, at this boardwalk over here. And eventually he meets up with his friends, or not meets up, but, he takes off a tracker, or the tracker, and the thing is, whenever Sonic was actually in that helicopter, he also got a walkie-talkie that he had with him because, you know, Sonic will need that in case Tails needs to contact him. You know, as you would need something like that. And, of course, he actually gets a call from Tails asking how he's been, what's been going on. Sonic explains. And then he goes over to a map place. I'll just pretend it's over here. But he's looking at it and he says, according to this map and according to what people have been saying, that desert area where that alien fanatic camp is, or fanatic camp is, there's supposed to be some weird, mysterious yellow glow coming from there. It might be a Chaos Emerald. You might want to check it out. Of course, Tails says yes, and Knuckles says, I'm on top of the big mountain. I think it's Red Mountain, isn't it? Sonic says, yeah, it is. I think it went dormant a long time ago, so I don't think it should erupt. But some locals around that mountain have said there's supposed to be some red glow coming from the mountain. It might be a Chaos Emerald. Mind checking it out for me? And as for Amy, she calls in to say that she thinks she's found a purple emerald at the casino because at night she's noticed that there's some sort of purple glow coming from the casino. So she's gone in to check it out, and she got permission because of the fact that the aforementioned bystander that saw the characters after they had been initially teleported asked them if they were okay, and he left after a while. That character will be very important shortly. So, of course, Sonic says to report in whenever they have the Chaos Emeralds and everything. And then Sonic tries to make his way to the casino because he thinks that'd be the most convenient place. And it actually is, because if you think about it, my character, ideally, if he were to go on foot, he would have to go like that, go up here, because I don't think that's supposed to be super steep. Follow this, follow that, and, you know, that a lengthy walk, or run, I guess, but it's all the way to the Diamond Casino and Resort. But, instead, as Sonic starts to go over here around this gas station, or I think it's a gas station. Wait, no, this is that shopping place. He gets approached by a person, a person in a truck. It is that same person that asked the 4 characters if they are alright. Turns out he is actually Chris Thorndyke from Sonic X, the anime series. And he plays an important role in this story, as in this story he is actually a 19-year-old who has helped his parents out on a farm, and he gets asked, or Sonic gets asked by Chris if he would need any help. Sonic says, yeah, I'm kind of pooped after, or not pooped, but I'm pretty tired after being chased by some giant truck. Do you mind if you can help me? Chris says, of course, I'll be happy to help. You're Sonic, aren't you? I'm a big fan. And so Chris asks, of course, about the truck thing, and Sonic explains that he's been framed for a crime again. Chris understands that it's not Sonic's fault and that there's been some strange things happening in the city. And Chris asks Sonic what he would need Chris to do. And of course he says, can you take me to the casino? I have a friend there who needs me. And of course Chris takes him there and all that stuff. And basically I have chapter 1 of the story, which is just 5 parts done, which is of course the beginning leading up until, you know, the casino. Right. Anyway. So Sonic goes to the casino, he meets up with Amy, and it's revealed that she has found and obtained the Purple Chaos Emerald after getting lucky at a casino game that she could play, and she was able to win. However, that's where we get our first proper meeting with Epsilon. I believe that Chaos Emerald belongs to me. Who are you? I am Epsilon, the one true ultimate life form. And I believe that Chaos Emerald belongs to me now. Ha! Come and take it. But, yeah. Sonic should know by now not to make idle threats, because, you know, as you wish. And as soon as Epsilon's about to unleash an attack, out of nowhere, Sonic, look out! Chaos Control! Shadow. Out of the shadows to rescue our friends. I know it's kind of cheesy, I'll work on the story more and more and more, but whenever I have it finalized, I'll let y'all know how everything's gonna go. I'll be playing through all the scenes with my friends whenever I do rehearsals and all that stuff. It doesn't have to be professional, you just have to do it the best way you can. So if anyone's interested, just let me know by, and this applies to if you have a PSN, and you have Plus, and you have GTA 5, just drop down your PSN down below in the comments, or not down below, but in the comments, either on here anytime streaming, and if you're ever interested in being a part of the special, I will be more than glad to help you out with what role you want to do. If you ever choose a role, like, you could even be an innocent bystander, you could be one of the gun troops, you could be one of the badniks made by Dr. Eggman, you could even be Dr. Eggman himself, if you're able to do a good enough impression. It all depends on what you want to do. Of course, you can't pick a role that somebody else already has, like me being Sonic, you can't choose to be Sonic, so on and so forth. However, there's a special case where I'm not exactly sure if my friend Toby will be able to actually make it because he may be busy on Halloween. So if someone's able to fill in the role of Tails in the event that my friend Toby isn't able to play or be a part of the stream, then please, by all means, let me know if you're down to have that role as Tails, and I will be more than glad to let you know how you can do it. It's gonna be pretty cool. I know it's really ambitious, this whole thing I'm doing, but I honestly think that given the right circumstances, I can definitely execute it well. So, yeah, just let me know and we'll see. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Night.